Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Yahusha's time, an end-time series to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father. To those who I believe will come to discover that his name is Yahuah, that Yahuah indeed was manifest in the flesh, in the person, in the man, Yahusha Messiah, that the earthen vessel that he manifested himself in was sacrificed and resurrected and transformed, that the set-apart spirit that the Almighty Father sent to teach and guide us and bring things to our remembrance was sent in Yahusha's name. This is a message to those who seek to do his will, the Almighty Father. I consider you my brothers, my sisters, my family, consisting of both Hebrews and Goyim under one banner, the banner of Yahusha, with true descendants of Abraham, Yitzhak, commonly known as Isaac, Yaakov, commonly known as Jacob, whose name was changed to Yahusha. It is you whom I consider the seed of Abraham, my family. With that said, my brothers and sisters, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah. This is part 2 of the segment entitled Your Path, Water, Blood, Fire. Today is January 5th, 2015. My brothers and sisters, if you are a returning listener, I salute your patience, your tolerance, your pursuit of set-apartness. I salute you, my brothers and sisters, in your pursuit to discover what it is that the Most High has planned for your life, for its assemblies, for Yahusha. Back to the matter of water, blood, and fire. I will now speak on the matter of blood. Let us consider the following. Exodus chapter 4, verse 9. It reads, "And it shall be, if they do not believe even these two signs or listen to your voice, that you should take water from the river and pour it on dry land, and the water which you take from the river shall become blood on the dry land." This was a sign from the Most High, my brothers and sisters, when Musha, or Moshe, some may say Moses, demonstrated a message before Pharaoh. Exodus 7:17 through 7:21 reads, "Thus said Yahuah, by this you should know that I am Yahuah. See, I am striking the waters which are in the river with the rod that is in my hand, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Mitzrayim shall find it impossible to drink the water of the river." And Yahuah spoke to Moshe, or Musha, "Say to Aharon, take your rod and stretch out your hand over the waters of Mitzrayim, over their streams, over the rivers, over their ponds, and over all their pools of water, that they become blood. And they shall be blood in all the land of Mitzrayim, both in wooden and in stone containers." And Moses, and Aharon did so as Yahuah commanded, and he lifted up the rod and struck the waters that were in the river, in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that were in the river died, and the river stank, and the Mitzrayites were unable to drink the water of the river. And the blood was in all the land of Mitzrayim. So did we witness during the times past, during the days of old, during Moshe. We will see these things, events such as these, occur again when the two witnesses of Revelation, when their identities are recognized, when they begin their ministry as directed by the Spirit of Yahusha. Moving to Exodus 12:7, it reads, "And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts and onto the lintel of the houses where they eat." Jumping to verse 12. I'm in the 12th chapter of Exodus. Reading verse 12, 13, and 14. "And I shall pass through the land of Mitzrayim on the night, and shall smite all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast. And on all the mighty ones of Mitzrayim I shall execute judgment. I am Yahuah. And the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I shall pass over you, and let the plague not come on you to destroy you when I smite the land of Mitzrayim. And this day shall become to you a remembrance, and you shall observe it as a festival to Yahuah throughout your generations. Observe it as a festival, an everlasting law." Matthew 26:28 says, "For this is my blood, that of the renewed covenant, that of the renewed covenant which is shed for many for the forgiveness of sins. John 6:54 says, he who eats my flesh and drinks my blood possess everlasting life, and I shall raise him up in the last day. Ephesians 2:13 say, but now in Messiah Yahusha, you who were once far off have been brought near by the blood of the Messiah. That's Ephesians 2:13. Hebrews 10:19 through 22 reads, Hebrews 10:19 through 22 reads, but now in Messiah Yahusha, you who were once far off have been brought near by the blood of Messiah. So brothers, that was Ephesians 2:13. Hebrews 10:19 through 22 reads, so brothers, Hebrews 10:19 through 22. So brothers, having boldness to enter into the set apart place by the blood of Yahusha, by a new and living way which he instituted for us through the veil that is his flesh, and having a high priest over the house of the Elohim, I'm sorry, I said I was going to refrain from that, of a high priest over the house of the Almighty One, Yahuwah. Let us draw near with a true heart and completeness of belief, having our hearts sprinkled from the wicked conscience and our bodies washed with clean water. 1 John 5:6 says, this is the one that came by water and blood, Yahusha Messiah, not only by water, but by water and blood. And it is the Spirit who bears witness because of the Spirit of truth. Who is able to discern the importance of being immersed in Yahusha Messiah? Who is able to understand the importance, the orders, the instructions, the teachings that tell us we will be immersed in the spirit of set apartness of the Most High? Pray and seek to discern the life in these words. Revelation 7:14, and I said to him, Master, you know, and he said to me, these are those coming out of the gate distress, or some may say tribulation, having washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Revelation 12:11, and they overcame him because of the blood of the Lamb and because of the word of their witness, and they did not love their lives to death. My brothers, my sisters, my family, seek to discern the life in set apartness. Seek to discover how blood is a critical component in our relationship with the Most High Father through Yahusha Messiah. Blood, a natural liquid, a liquid that carries oxygen through our bodies to supply every cell with the nutrients necessary for continued physical life. Blood also represents sacrifice and redemption, atonement. Blood is reflective of when we witness death, physical death among us, that there will be blood spewed. The ultimate blood sacrifice was through Yahusha Messiah, his atoning blood, for it is by his Passover actions that we find forgiveness now and when we stumble and fall. It is through the blood of the Lamb we are restored into fellowship with the Almighty One, Yahuwah. Yahusha is our Messiah, our Mashiach, and all proof will come. End times will bring the most challenging of times. We are instructed to be mindful of the signs of the times. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, I present before you to be alert, to pay attention when blood is spilled. I assure you it would be a reflection, the fruit of battles, the fruit of fighting, the fruit of wars. We will witness a time when the rivers will turn into blood when the two witnesses of Revelation emerge. Who is able to discern why? Who is able to discern the reflection of what they will execute? Who is able to discern that they will contribute to some of the fulfillment of what is written regarding vengeance is mine, saith the Almighty One? Who is able to discern that the wrath of the Almighty Father draws near? My brothers and sisters, as we realize our refinement has begun, we will experience being reproved often, made humble, and represent ourselves as one going forward in humility and refinement and strength. The blood of the Lamb, Yahusha, will prove to be recognized as we stumble and fall, for in his atoning power we will be forgiven, we will forgive one another, we will lift up our heads and press forward. As we are reproved, corrected, we will repent. And given the strength and boldness that is necessary, we will receive from the Spirit of Yahusha. We will press forward and emerge as Yahusha, an awakening nation. He who discovers the need to be mindful of the blood will witness something extremely phenomenal within this journey we know as our lives. He who also discovers the living presence of Yahusha Messiah will come to measure that all that is involved regarding blood as a means for measuring the signs of the times. Pray, watch, study, pray some more, and seek to discern the life in all set apartness. Yes, water and blood will play a critical role, my brothers and sisters. It will represent a critical role in our refining and our maturity. I have only touched the surface regarding water and blood, but believe it or not, he who is able to discern the magnitude of water and blood will discover the presence of Yahusha like never before mentioned by man, experienced by man. Allow me to present the following. Hebrews 10:19-22. So brothers, having boldness to enter into the set-apart place by the blood of Yahusha, by a new and living way which he instituted in us through the veil that is his flesh, and having a high priest over the house of the house of the Almighty One Yahuah, let us draw near with a true heart and completeness of belief, having our hearts sprinkled from wicked conscience and our bodies washed with clean water. My brothers and sisters, I specifically want to bring your attention to the words blood of Yahusha and wash with clean water, as I had reread what I have read earlier. Consider these words, Ephesians 5:25-27. Husband, love your wife as Messiah also did love the assembly and gave himself for it, in order to be set apart and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. Washing of water by the word, in order to present it to himself a splendid assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or in any of this sort, but that it might be set apart and blameless. My brothers and sisters, there are those who would interpret what I just read as the word alone, the text, calls the washing. Yeah, there were those who are leaning on the word alone and say it was the text that's doing the washing. It said word, so they'll take the text. I submit to you, it was by Yahusha Messiah making the word alive. Together they bear witness of one another, and thus the washing occurs. Without the Spirit of Yahusha there is no washing. Without the written word, his manifestation of his word made alive, there is no washing. They bear witness to one another. There we have two witnesses, and it is established. Many have tried to steal the cleaning, the washing agent, so to speak, since the dawn of the ages, but without living instructions, only wickedness has erupted. In other words, they have tried to take the text and run with it, and command it, and believe that that creates the washing, void of realizing that unless the Spirit of Yahusha makes alive, it is ineffective. The word, the scriptures become ineffective if they're taken out of context, out of the use and direction of the Most High. Pray and watch. Proof will come. Anyone who takes scriptures out of place is like one who dirties the water, the written word. They disregard the living words from the Spirit of Yahusha. Remember, it is stated in scripture, the letter kills, but the Spirit makes alive. I want you to be mindful. Let us revisit Hebrews 10:20-21. By a new and living way which he instituted for us through the veil that is his flesh, and having a high priest over the house of the Almighty One Yahuah. My brothers and sisters, before the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah, there was a veil which was part of the process of which the priest went into the chamber to make atonement sacrifices for the sins of the people. I submit to you, Yahusha Messiah brought the next step towards fulfilling the Most High's plan to restore us individually into fellowship with him. And in doing so, the veil was rent. People often wrestle with the words, the Most High Father changes not. They disregard that his plan includes a process. For this cause, many are drawn astray, are led astray because they fail to understand how the veil was rent and why. For those who struggle with understanding with what happened regarding the veil and redemption of sins prior to the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah, deliverance will come. We will come to understand what proceeded afterwards. Those who struggle immensely will come to discern what is indeed set apart. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. All too often I found people struggling because of the word the Most High Father changes not. And they lean on the written word in part, failing to realize that it is dangerous to do such. The Most High Father will be constantly grabbing dirt from the ground and the Most High will not be constantly grabbing dirt from the ground and create man over and over again. We're not going to see an Adam event occur, nor Eve or Yahuah event occur over and over again. Not between Genesis and Revelation, my brothers and sisters. There are those who fail to realize that there are processes in this journey that do not repeat. All too often, many are stuck on the fact that the Most High Father changes not, but they forget that if you seek the Spirit, you will see that there's a process. There's a living process for our journey, for our worship, for our obedience. The Most High Father's plan does not include His Word made flesh being physically sacrificed over and over again and again and again. That will not happen. The Most High's plan does not include multiple physical returns of the Messiah before Judgment Day. There is a process regarding our maturity, our own worship and obedience. Pray and seek to discern how to understand these words. The words the Father changes not, or any word similar. Back to the matter of water and blood. These are keys to wisdom, for they bring our attention to the very basics of life's essential in these earthen vessels. Pray and watch. Seek to discern more and more that you may grow in wisdom in all set apartness. As I reread the following passage, consider these words before Yahusha Messiah. Consider these words regarding before Yahusha Messiah's sacrifice. The priest stood between the people and the Almighty Father Yahuah when it came to sacrifice and the forgiveness of sin and the use of the veil. This is what happened before the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah. Until the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah, his physical body took the place of the veil that was once used. Now our redemption takes on the next step in the Almighty Father's plan. For our restoration and fellowship with Him is made possible through Yahusha Messiah. Many people fail to realize those before the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah walk in expectation and looking forward to the fulfillment of the return as well as the sacrifice and resurrection of Yahusha Messiah. There is much work ahead of us, my brothers and sisters. There is much work to be said, to be done on this specific subject, of which will be deferred. I will wait until such time as ordered. But consider this, my brothers and sisters. There are warnings, there are instructions, there are orders and commands regarding water, blood, and fire. Who is able to understand the life in the following? Matthew 27:51. It reads, "And see, the veil of the dwelling place was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth was shaken, and the rocks were split. And the veil of the dwelling place was torn in two from top to bottom. And the sun was darkened, and the veil of each one of these, this was Mark 15:38, and then Luke 23:45. Each speak of the veil being rent upon the sacrifice of Yahusha Messiah. Pray and watch, and seek to understand the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate shedding of blood represents the atonement. The blood of the Lamb, the atonement, the covering, the forgiveness for our sins, my brothers and sisters. Blood, the Almighty Father said He will avenge the spilt blood of His people, the spilt blood of the innocent. Pray and watch. Let us now move forward and consider the matter of fire. Fire, my brothers and sisters, as we enter into the subject of fire, keep in mind there was water with Noah and water in many other instances, whether it be drought or flooding. Keep in mind with blood, there was the Passover that Yahusha experienced through the days of Moshe or Musha, when the messenger of death came, and there were those of Yahusha spared because of obedience, spreading the blood on the doorpost. And there was the ultimate blood sacrifice in Yahusha Messiah. Pray, my brothers and sisters. Pray and seek to discern. Let us learn the importance, the severity, the functionality of the words water and blood. For there is so much wisdom to gain from 2 words alone. And as I stated, let us move into fire. Genesis 19:24. It reads, "And Yahuwah rained sulfur and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from Yahuwah out of the heavens." Exodus 9:23 says, "Then Moshe stretched out his rod towards the heavens, and Yahuwah sent thunder and hail, and fire came down the earth, and Yahuwah rained hail on the land of Mitzrayim." Let me also share with you 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 36 through 38. It reads as follows, "And it came to be at the time of bringing the evening offering that Eliyahu the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah the Almighty One, Yahuwah of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, let it be known today, you are the Almighty One, Yahuwah in Yasharal. And I, your servant, have done all these matters by your word. Answer me, O Yahuwah, answer me, and let this people know that you are Yahuwah, the Almighty One, Yahuwah, and you shall turn their hearts back to you again." Then the fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt offering and the wood and the stones and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. This was an example, my brothers and sisters, of fire coming down to prove the words of Eliyahu. Some might say Elijah, the prophet. Deuteronomy 4:24, "For Yahuwah, your Almighty, the Almighty One, Yahuwah, is a consuming fire, a jealous Almighty One." Revelation 29 says, "And they came up over the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the set-apart ones, the beloved city, and fire came down from the Almighty One, Yahuwah, out of the heaven and consumed them." My brothers and sisters, as I was praying, it was as though the Spirit of Yahusha reminded me many times that fire was used to bring man, to bring his children to humility, to execute wrath upon the wicked. Fire, a very powerful thing. We will witness much in the coming days. We will see fire enlarged across the planet from wildfires to extreme drought. As a result of extreme drought, we will witness fire as a result of earthquakes and infrastructures failing and collapsing. We will witness fires break out as a result of bombs and explosives being used as battles and fights break out. We will witness meteor showers causing widespread fire in the coming days. We will witness fire as the fruit of man's wickedness increase as a result of explosives and military armament. We will come to see fire being commanded by the 2 witnesses of Revelation as they emerge, as their identities are made known. 2 chosen prophets of the Almighty Father Yahuah, led by his set-apart spirit, who will command fire from the skies at the orders of the Spirit of Yahusha. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. Watch what's unfolding, and you will see there is a reason why we must and will come to understand all the facets, all the dynamics of water, blood, and fire. End times will prove to be a time of refining. I will pause here for part 2, my brothers and sisters. I will end part 2 and ask that you stay tuned for part 3. Stay tuned, my brothers and sisters. There is much to cover regarding this subject, your path, water, blood, and fire. Don't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to discern the path which the Most High have carved for you when our final exodus begin, when we begin to journey from one point to the next for that final exodus? Or when we begin to journey to the final place we will stand, where we will die physically as martyrs for Yahusha's name? Wouldn't you want to be prepared and refined sooner, more so than later? Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. We are in spiritual battle. This is spiritual warfare. It is a serious thing. It is a terrible thing to ignore the commands, the living instructions of the Most High. We will be humbled. We will increase in discernment. We will be delivered from wicked strongholds. We who represent the children of obedience will fulfill what is said regarding the gathering from the 4 corners of the earth and regarding those who will die for Yahusha's sake. Stay tuned as part 3 emerges, my brothers and sisters. Part 3 of Yasharal's time, the segment entitled Your Path, Water, Blood, Fire. Shalom, shalom, shalom.